Hello everyone, today in this video we'll be discussing the third lab program of SS, which is regarding the parsing of the string and means generating the LL table. Okay, generating what? LL1 of predictive LL1 table. Okay, so we'll be going through the depth, like whatever is written here, what do these terms mean, and everything will be going to the depth. So this video is going to be long, and I'll be covering each corner of this code, so don't worry about that. And if you're just looking for the like how to memorize this code, then in the timestamps you can find the timestamp where I will tell how to memorize the code. Okay, so if you are looking for just the memorization of this code, I'll you can go to that part, or else you can watch from the starting till the end. Okay, so first let's understand what is the problem statement, and then we'll be seeing what is being done here. Okay, so this is what we'll be discussing in this whole video. So let me show you the overview. Okay, so this is the code flow and we'll be discussing the program. We have some variables here and these things are assigned here, and what is the code flow, how to remember this one. Okay, so let's get started with the code flow and all. And what is the problem statement? Let's go to that first. Okay, so the problem is generate ll1 parsing for the grammar. This is the grammar which is given to us. We have to generate what? ll1 parsing of it. Okay, so if you have watched my module 3 video, there I have explained what is ll1 parsing. For that we have to follow these steps, right? Left recursion, left factoring, first and follow, parsing table and stack. Okay, these are the 5 steps to follow to generate the ll1 table. So first we will be generating a table, and then we will be parsing a string as well. So the input is given to us, which is sorry, I forgot to write here. I'll write now. The input which is given to us is a dollar. So this is the input given to us. We have to check if this input is valid or not. Means for this given grammar, this input is valid or not, that we have to check. Okay, after generating ll1 parsing table. Now even if you have not watched the video in which I means module 3 video of the parsing, I'll be going through briefly what you have to keep in mind for this program. So let's get started. This is what is given to us. First we will have to generate what? ll1 parsing table. Okay, so let's get started with the generation of ll1 parsing table. And what they have given is a goes to small a, capital B and a. The small things are known as terminals, and the capital things are known as non-terminals. Okay, so here we have a goes to small a and capital B and small a, b goes to small b and capital B, and b goes to at the rate symbol. At the rate symbol is denoted in the programming language as epsilon, because epsilon there is no key named as epsilon, right? So we have written here as a. Okay, at the rate symbol. So wherever at the rate symbol is there, it's same as epsilon. Okay, keep that in mind. So what we have to do for generating the ll1 parsing is that we have to check for left recursion and left factoring. Left recursion means what? A is here. Does capital A occur here? No. Then move forward. Capital B, does capital B occur in this first place? No. This capital B occurring in this first place? No. Then move forward. So left recursion is not there. What about left factoring? Left factoring means, do we find anything common here, like A and another thing is not there? So obviously here also it's not there, here also it's not there, so there is no left factoring also. Left factoring means what? If it was like AC here, I could take A common and write A dash, then I could define A dash as, sorry, this is A dash as what is remaining here, B, A and C, right? So A dash goes to B, A and C. So what happens is A dash can be either B, A or C. Like that I could define if this was two things, but since it's just only one thing, there is no left factoring in either of these cases. So left factoring is not there, we can move for first and follow. So let's see what you can do for first and follow. So in first and follow, what you have to do is you have to write all the productions which are given to you, and means the same production will be writing it together, and after that you will be writing here first, and then you will be writing here follow. In first, what you will do, you will check the first terminal. If it is the terminal, you will be writing. If it's non-terminal, there is a separate thing for it, like you have to check the follow of it, and then you have to do some things. So let's not go in that, just observe carefully what's here, because that's not the part of the question given here. So B is given here, we'll be writing B, and epsilon is here, so we'll be writing epsilon as well. After that, A goes to A, you will be writing A here. Okay, next, how to write follow. Follow, first we will be writing dollar here, then we'll be checking, we are checking for A, right? Follow, does A appear anywhere here? If no, then just stop here. So I'll be just stopping here with after writing follow. Then coming to this part, how I wrote A is, I gone to B, wherever I can find B, I will be marking there. After that, what is coming here? A, so I wrote here A, and after this, what is coming? Nothing is coming, so it will come back again and it will check, it will come back again, it will check. That's a recursive loop. Whenever you get a recursive loop in the same thing, then you would stop there itself. Okay, so the only thing what I got is A. Okay, so this is how you generate the first and follow table. Okay, then you have to generate the parsing table. In the parsing table, what you have to do is, what are the non-terminals that you will be writing here, means capital A and capital B, and what are the terminals that you will be writing here. Okay, and you have here non-terminal and a terminal here. Now the first thing what you have to do is, for this equation, what you got a, for capital A you got small a. So in under the small a, what you will be writing is this one, means small a. How you got small a? I got by this equation, right? So that equation I'll be writing here under small a. Next I'll be doing same for B also. B, how I got, means capital, means small b and epsilon. So small b, how I got, by this equation, um, b goes to small b and b, because that was the first thing that I have taken here. So because of this equation I have got, so I'll be writing that under small b, which is b and b, and after that I have epsilon here. So I don't have any epsilon symbol under which I can write, right? There is no epsilon symbol here. So at that time what you are supposed to do is, if you get epsilon here, just jump to follow. You got a here, so below a you have to write, what you have to write, this equation, b goes to epsilon, that equation you have to write under a. So if you did not get, you can rewind back to the rewind back 1 minute and watch again what I told. Okay, so here you are writing epsilon symbol, which is denoted as at the rate symbol, under which a. Why? Because here in the follow they you have been given with a. Okay, so under a what you have to write is b goes to epsilon. Okay, so that's how you generate the parsing table as well. After that the input will be, means that string will be taken into consideration. How to means what is the final thing, the a b is given to us and stack will be given to us. We'll be checking if it's matching, we will be cutting off, and else we will be substituting those things. So those things will be discussing in the later part of this video, but that's what we are going to check. After generating the parsing table, we are going to check if the string is valid or not. Okay, we are just going to parse. This parsing table is already given in the question itself. Okay, so let's get started with the code. So if I give you the brief overview of the code, whatever we have is, these are the three things what is there in the whole code. These are the three things what is there in the whole code. First you have two header files. What are the two header files? stdio and stdlib. And then we have the global variables, which is nothing but 5 arrays. So what are the 5 arrays? Just means listen to the names: product, table, size, s, and stack. These are the 5 arrays. I'll be discussing each in depth what do these terms means. But for now, just keep in mind the whole code's overall picture is, two header files will be there, stdio and stdlib, and there are 5 global variables, and there are two functions. One of them is main function, other one is the display function. So you got the overview of the code, right? In program number 3, what you have to write is two header files, then you have to write 5 global variables, and after that you have to write two functions, which is first is main and second is display. In display we'll be using the two means we'll be passing two parameters, which are I and j. What does I and j do is, we'll be printing stack from 0 to I, and we'll be printing s array from j to n is the total number of elements. So for those two purposes we are using this function. So whenever I call a display of I of j, a stack will be displayed from 0 to I, and the s will be displayed from j to n, means till the last. Okay, so that's what the main aim of the display function is. Just keep this in mind. Even if you did not understand anything till now, it's all okay, because I have not started taking an example. So just keep in mind that display means it will just display the stack from I to 0 to I, and s from j to n. Okay, so let's get started with the code. Okay, so in the code what we have is, first the main function. In main function we have the output, the grammar, which is stored in the product table. Before that, let me show you the code itself. So if you go through the code, whatever I told you, you can recall now. See, two header files are there, and there are 5 variables, global variables, and which are nothing but 5 arrays. First array, second array, third array, fourth array, and fifth array. Okay, product, table, size, s, and stack. Now what are these terms? We will come back to that later. Then we have the two functions. One is the display function. See, we have two for loops. This for loop is for printing stack from I to means 0 to I, and the other one is the j to n, that's printing s of k. So s of k means k is running from j to n, so s of j to n will be printed, and stack of 0 to I will be printed. Okay, that's what the display function does, and this is the void main function. In the void main function, what are the different things is, first we will initialize some things here, then we will output the grammar is, we'll be outputting the grammar, means what is the grammar given to us, a goes to a, b goes to here small b, capital B, and epsilon. This is the grammar which is stored in what, product table. So let me show you the product table. In the product table, means production table it is. Okay, in here we have a goes to aba, and b goes to bb, and b goes to epsilon. These three things are given, and it's a 3 cross 15 matrix. So here we have 3 rows, and each row can have 15 means characters. So this is first row, this is second row, and this is third row. That's what we are printing in the void main first part. Okay, in the first part the grammar is like that, will be printing product values. Then what we are doing is we are printing the predictive parsing table. We are printing means printing predictive parsing table, and after that slash t a, so a will be there, slash t b, so b will be there, slash t dollar, so dollar will be there in the predictive parsing table as I showed you in the document. Like that only it will be there, right? A will be there, b will be there, and dollar will be there. After that again we are printing this one, these lines are here, so this line is just for separation thing. And then we have I is equal to 0 to 2, it will run. What it will do, this for loop, this for loop will check. If it is 0 it will print a, if it is 1 it will print b. So as I told you, predictive parsing table will be printed, then lines will be printed, small a, small b, and dollar will be printed. Then we are printing a here, then we are printing b here. So this is how the we'll be making it ready, the thing, predictive parsing table. And each time when I means write here a, after that there is a nested for loop also, which runs from 0 to 3. So what it will print is table of ij. Table of ij will print this value, this value, this value. Again it will print this value, this value, this value for the next row. So what are these values? That's already stored in which table? Table. Okay, so the tables means the array's name is table. So here what you have stored is 3D matrix, which is of two rows, okay, and 3 columns. So there will be 3 columns. So first column, second column, third column, and it's further 3, means each of the cell can have 3 characters. Here also 3 characters, 3 all the 3 characters. What it stores is ABA. So this is how the actual visualization is. Here we have ABA, and then we have the space, so it will be space here. And we have at the rate symbol, so it will be at the rate symbol. Sorry, this is not there, this is just 2D. So here we have BB, and here we have nothing. Okay, so this is shown as a, b, and a, b, and dollar. So this is what the output will look like. Okay, so if you want to, it can take a screenshot, because I'll be erasing this one. I'll be referring this table after some time. Okay, so if I show you, I've written it here also. Like the table is 3D matrix, so it will be looking as follows. It will be like a and b will be here, and this is the output, like how in the output will be showing. And each line will have 3 characters here. Okay, means max to max 3 characters. Then see, I'll be showing you here. This is the product array, which has 3 rows. The first array what I talked about, and each can have 15 characters. Here also 15 characters, here also 15 characters. Then we have the next array, which is table array. This is of 2 cross 3 cross 3, right? 2 3 3, that's what the size was given to us, right? So 2 is nothing but the 2 rows, and 3 is nothing but the 3 columns. These are the 3 columns, and 3 is nothing but the number of characters in each one. So here can be 3 character, 3 character, 3 character, 3 and 3 characters. Okay, so we have just utilized here 3 characters, and here 2 characters, here just 1 character. Okay, so in that way we'll be referring to these characters. Okay, that's about the tables array. And size array, what it says is, what is the size of this cell, means what is the thing present there, what is its size, that we are already specifying 3. Here it will be 0 0, so 0 0, here 1 2, so 1 2 and 0. Okay, so that's what the next array is, which is size array, that we have specified here. This is the size array. Okay, and we have SN stack as well. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, here we had outputted those things. The table values will output like all these values, a, b, and small a, b, and dollar. All the values will be also outputted here. After the outputting of the values, what we are doing is taking the input string. The input string is what, a, b, b, I told you already. So we are taking this input string, and then we are concatenating it with dollar. So the user will only enter this much, we will enter this one the last, and we are calculating the length as well. So the length is 5. Okay, so stack of 0 is equal to dollar, and stack of 1 is equal to a. So I forgot to tell you what is the stack, what is the s part. Okay, so while the parsing these values, what is the s is nothing but the s is nothing but the input. It will store the input means what it will store here is, it will store as a, b, b, a, dollar. This is what it will be storing in the this one. And what will be in stack, what will be there is, what is the current situation. Like for example, in the first part it will be dollar and then a, because that's what the starting part is, right? When we are doing the stack operation, if you have watched my module 3 video, there what we used to do is, we'll be writing a stack, and we'll be writing here the input, and then we'll be starting a, and this will be written. Then what are the steps we are following? In these steps what we are doing is, we are checking a to a. In the parsing table we are checking a to a, where it goes. A to A it goes A, B, A. So instead of this, we are substituting this one. So that's what we are checking here also. After substituting this one, this is the top of the stack. We'll check this one with this one. If it's matched, we'll cut it off. B and B will check, and so on will go. Okay, so that's what we are doing in the further stages. Let's see how it proceeds. So as of now, what we have done, as of now, we have taken the S value and stored in S array. Okay, so as you can see here, where we are currently present at is this one, taken and stored there, and we have initialized the stack of 0 as dollar and stack of 1 as A. Okay, because A is the first grammar which they have given to us. A goes to small a, capital B, small a. So this is the first thing which you have to initialize in the stack array, because stack shows the current content. So I have initialized this one. So let's move further. So in the further part, what we have is stack input will output like this, and I is 1 and j is 0. Let's initialize that one, and stack input will output, and we will print a line here. Then the whole code runs in the while loop itself. Okay, so let's discuss what is in the while loop. Here we have an if condition. That if condition is still here. Okay, this is the if condition. I'll be discussing what if conditions do in the while loop. So there is another if condition. Here we have the switch case, two switch cases, and after that we have the if else and if else if and else. Okay, these three conditions are there, then the code is getting over. Okay, so let's discuss what is in the while loop. Okay, till here you understood, right? What we did, we just outputted the stack input, and after that we are coming to the while loop. So before while loop, I and I is equal to 1, j is equal to 0. So let's initialize that one. I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 0. So for the first iteration will be going very slow, because if you understand one iteration, rest of the iterations you can easily imagine and do, right? So here it is 5, and here it is 1, and here it is 0. Okay, so have patience. If you want to understand the code, you have to have patience right now. Okay, so after we have written that one, what next we are doing, let's go to the code part. Then what we are first checking is if stack content of I is equal to s of j. That's the first thing what we are checking here. Okay, that's the first thing what we are checking here in the while loop. Stack of I is equal to stack of j or not. What does that mean? What is stack of I and what is s of j? Those are two things, different things getting compared. Stack of I and s of j. How much is I? I is 1, j is 0. So what two values are getting compared is stack of I, which is nothing but stack of 1. A is getting compared with s of j. S of j is s of 0, which is nothing but small a. Why we are comparing A with this one? If here it was B, we'll compare this one with this one. Why we are comparing the last one with this first one? Because of the order in which we write. Stack and S, this is nothing but input, and this is the stack value. While we are writing the stack and the input value, how we are writing is like this way, right? This is stack array, and this is the S value. This is the last value of the stack, and this is the first value of S. That's why we are comparing the I value of this one and J value as this one. This is 1 initially, and this is 0. Now we are comparing these both. What if it was equal? Instead of A, if I had here small a, at that time it was equal, I would have done match, and then I would have checked whatever is left or not. If it was nothing was left, dollar dollar only will be there. I'll print out print as success. But that's not the case right now, right? So suppose that it was A here. Let's see what will happen then. Okay, we'll check all the if conditions. What will happen if it was true? Suppose that this was true. If stack is equal to s of I is equal to s of j, what I will do, I minus minus, so I will become as 0, and j plus plus, j will become as 1. And we'll check if s of I is equal stack of I is equal to dollar and s of j is equal to dollar. I is 0, j is 1. Let's see. I is 0 and j is 1. So if I is 0 and j is 1, I is 0 means where it will point here. J is 1 means where it will point here. Suppose that these things were not there, then dollar would have been here at this position. So what means is this A was matched with this A. Supposing that this was A small a, this was met, and we are checking this one is equal to this one or not, means dollar. If it's equal, our string is matched, right? Because it was just dollar A here and A dollar. This was matched, and we decremented the value of I, incremented the value of J, and these two got compared. It's dollar. So what we'll have to output is success. Right, what you have to output is success. Right, we have to output it as success if it was same. Now since it is not same, but for example, if it was like dollar a, we have checked this is equal to a, but after that it's not dollar, it is having another b here. This is got over, I is here, and is compared with b. See, it's not, means no input is left here, stack is empty, this is dollar here, but another input is left here. At that time it will output as error. If this is dollar and this is not equal to dollar, means this is dollar, this is not equal to dollar, at that time it will output as error, because nothing can be done. This is the error case only. Okay, and then we'll be displaying ij. As I told you, what will display ij do? Display ij will do the output what is present in the current stack and the current s. So it will just output what is present here, means I had come here, so it will just output dollar, and I had excluded this one, so it will output bba dollar. Like that it will output in case it was small a, but it is not small a, it is capital A here. Okay, so display will just output what is the current situation of stack and this one, so need not worry about that. I'll skip that for now. Okay, so if you go through the display code, you'll easily get to know what it does. Okay, so our first if condition is done. I hope you got a in-depth understanding of what does the if condition do. Okay, so if this condition is not true, means as in our case it is capital A. What is in our case? It is dollar capital A and small a b capital B, I mean small b only. See it, our case is like this, right? A b b a dollar. So this is getting compared with this one, this is not equal, so we'll move with this one, will not come under this part, will come here, and here what we have is switch stack of I. Stack of I means what is in stack of I? Stack of I, what I have capital A, right? Stack of I, stack of I is nothing but this one, right? The first value I is equal to 1 in our case, and what is the stack of I value? Stack I is equal to 1, so stack of I is equal to A. So that, and s of j will also be considered a small a. So stack of I is capital A, and stack of I is capital A, s of I is small a. So this is capital A and this is small a. What we are doing is row is equal to 0, column is equal to 0. Why we are taking row and column, we'll understand in the later stage. Here what we are checking, table of row column, and here table of row column. That what we are checking here. What is table of row column? If you observe carefully, why we are actually doing this one, means why we are checking the s of stack of I value and assigning the row and the column values. See, we got here as a and we got here as small a. So what do we usually do when we have the stack and the input? What we compare is these two values, right? See, so let's do it here only. So what we do is we'll compare this value and this value. So if a goes to a, what I should do? If a goes to a, what I should do? Where we used to refer? In the parsing table we used to refer, right? In the previous table which I have generated, capital A goes to small a, what should be done? So for that we are referring the parsing table. So same thing we'll do here also. If it is the parsing table that's already defined here, this is the parsing table. Here it's already defined that what we have to do is, if a goes to a, at that time it will be aba. A goes to aba. So this is defined, right? This is defined. So what we will be substituting in the place of capital A is aba, and that we'll get from here. That's why only we set the row and the column, because this is capital A and this is capital B, and this is small a, small b, and dollar. So for each of these it's defined. Capital A, when it goes to small a, this is the output, and so I'll be selecting this one from table value. Okay, then I'll be assigning each of these from the reverse order, a b a. Okay, a b a will be assigning in the reverse order. Okay, that's one thing you need to keep in mind. So we'll be checking if it's empty, means that table value is empty or not. Okay, here we are checking if it's empty or not. If it's empty, means what I have done is, like a is here and small a is here, and nothing is defined here for that production, and for here it was aba, like for example for b. For it, if for this it is nothing is defined, that means it's an error, right? If it is equal to at the symbol, means if it was epsilon, then what I will do, I'll just ignore a. How to ignore a? I minus minus. I will keep the track of the stack value. A is here, I will be here, then I will come here. That means it's becoming epsilon. We are just ignoring it. Then we'll display the content, we'll just display the dollar sign here. Okay, because it runs from 0 to I, it will just run this from one iteration, and it will display dollar. Else what we will do is, k is equal to size of this one. Size what it has stored. If I show you the size array here, size has stored how much is the length of the thing which is getting substituted. This length is stored in size. So from that size I am starting size minus 1, 3 till, I mean 2 till 0, because 3 minus 1 you are taking and going till 0, greater than or equal to 0. Okay, after that we are taken this one. What we are means adding in stack is table of row column k. What is table of row column k? Table of row column k is this one. K is equal to 2, so this is 0 1 2. This value we are taking, this value we are taking and adding in size. In stack here we'll adding this one I plus plus, this value will be added, and k minus minus is also happening. Then k will become 0, we'll add this one. So in the place of these three, what we'll be doing is, in the place of a, actually we are substituting the value of this one. A B A in the reverse order. Okay, so that's what we have done, and I will become I plus plus, so I will come here, I will come till here, so I will be 4. Then after the code gets over, that for loop gets over, what we are doing is we are coming back one iteration, right? So after that, finally we will be writing I minus minus here. What does it do? It will bring I to the current what is the top of the index value. So I will come back, I will be at this location here. Okay, so that's what happened till now, and then we'll call the display function. So the display function, what it will do, it will display this one. So let's see how it is. So what will happen is stack value will be displayed. So in the next iteration, it will display like the stack contents. When I call the display, it will be a capital B A, and this will be same a b b a dollar. But because in display function, this will display the stack value, and this will display the s value. Okay, so those two values also will be displayed. So till now nothing has happened, just this has happened. Next what we'll do is, since I value is 3, it will start comparing from here. Okay, because stack value it will start comparing from. So stack value, if I show you, i's value is where, i's value is present actually here, right? This is the i's value current at the position. A will be compared with j value. So the first code again, it will come for the while loop. If I show you here, it will means the while loop got over, right? It was the last statement, I minus minus. So what will happen again, it will come to the while loop here. The while loop starts from here. Again it will check stack of I is equal to s of j or not. What is stack of I? Stack of I is this value, what we are currently at the top of the position. Stack of I, stack of I is this value, it will compare with s of j. So again we are comparing small a with a. What is at the top of the stack? We are comparing with the first input character, if it's same or not. In this case it is same. If it is same, what we are supposed to do, we have to just ignore it, like I minus minus and j plus plus. So what it will do, it will be like a match. Like if you ignore the I value, come back a bit, and j plus plus will go back, go in front. Like this is the input from here, the stack input, and this is the j means the input value. This is the stack and this is the input. So if this is a match, what you have to do is cut it. So we are just decrementing I value, incrementing the j value. So it will start from here and it will start from here, it will just split till here and here when we call the display function. That's what's happening. Also we'll check if it's dollar, means it's success. It's not yet dollar, so we'll just ignore the rest of the thing. We'll display I of j. So what it will display is just, it will display a b, and because that I value is not present till here, so a will be there but it will not be displayed. And here what will be displayed is b b a dollar, because j will be starting from here, right? J we incremented. In the display function, j will be starting from this one till the end, which is the end value, which is 5. So it will ignore these two a's, it will be like a match. So next we have to compare the this one and this one. Again we'll do the same thing, it is same or not. It's not. So what goes for b? B goes to bb. So we'll write in the reverse order, first b then b. So in the place of this I'll write bb. Again this b will be compared, this will be a cut, and again b, again I'll write bb, and this b will be cut. Again b goes to a, b goes to, as you know, it's epsilon, so I'll just ignore this one. So I have just one a and a left here. I'll cut these two a's and we'll be left with the dollars. Dollars also will be cut, it will be outputting as success. Okay, so I hope so you got the logic of the remaining iterations as well. So that's what happening in the whole code. Let's quickly wrap up, like how to memorize this code, what is in the whole overall code. Okay, so to quickly wrap up, again we'll go to the same thing. 2 header files you have to write, and these are the 5 array values you have to write. The first array value is for the productions, which we will define. 3 productions are there, which is given to us in the question. A goes to aba, b goes to bb, and b goes to epsilon. Epsilon is taken as at the red symbol. And we have the table also. In table what we have is the 2 rows are there. One is defined for a, another is for b. For a, what we have defined is aba. See, it will be like this. The parsing table we are storing in table. Okay, AB is defined for this one because that's what the first and for after you do the parsing table generation, it will be like this. Here it will be empty because A has no protection, B as well as dollar. And here what we'll have is at the rate symbol for this one, because of follow will come here, and write down the value under the A, because of follow of B is A. And after that bb is here, that is because of small b, I'll be writing here this one. So this is stored in table. Then we have the size table. In the size, each size is stored 3 0 0 1 2 0, that is stored here. And n is also another integer we are defining. S is for what? S is for input, the input string which we are storing, a b b a dollar, this will be stored in s. And in stack, the current means the content of the stack that will be stored. Okay, then we are calling two functions, which is display and the main function. So in display, what happens is we are doing two for loops. In the first for loop, it will run from I is equal means it will run from 0 to I, and it will print the stack value. Okay, stack will always go from 0 to I, it will print that value. Means we have two deviations, right? Before that, let me tell you, the second for loop runs from j to n, and it will print the s value. So while writing the output, we'll be writing stack here, stack input, and stack will be writing input here. The stack will be displayed as follows: a b a or something like that, and here the input is a b b a dollar. So see here, it is running from 0 to I, and this is running from j to n. So wherever the j is, it will start running from there, and I will be coming like this, it will be decrementing, j will be incrementing. Okay, and in that way we will be comparing like this. Okay, so that's why we are using two for loop to display the stack content, current stack content, as well as the s value, which is the input value. In the void main, what we are doing is, first we are outputting grammar. The three rules we are outputting using this for loop. The three grammar rules are these three grammar rules stored in product array that we are outputting using a for loop. Then you are outputting predictive parsing table a, b, and dollar separated by slash t. So it will output this line here, then it will output a, b, and dollar. After that, it will output a line like this because of this line of code. After that, I is equal to 0 to 2. First we are outputting a and b, means parsing table values is stored in this variable the array, which is the table array. There it is stored what should be output here, here, here. Based on those corresponding values, we are using another nested for loop for outputting each table of ij value. Okay, so this table of ij value will store what is the productions defined, so that will be outputted corresponding to small a, b, and dollar. Here capital A and B. For each of these three things will be printed here, these three things will be printed here. Okay, that's what we are doing here. Table of ij values we are printing. Now taking the input string and concatenating it with dollar, taking the length of it, and initializing stack with dollar and a. So two things we need: stack we need, and here we need the input. In stack, dollar a is saved, and I starting from I is 1 and j is 0. Stack input will be outputted. After that, this line will be output. So stack and input will be the two things outputting, and after that the while loop is there. So in the while loop, as I already explained in the main code, what you have to do is, if condition is there, two into switch, two switch condition is there, then if else. Okay, here we are checking if it's equal or not, means what we have matched in the end of the stack and the starting of the s value, which is the input value. If this is same, it's a match. So it can be either dollar, both can be dollar, or it can be any other character. If it's any other character, just decrement the I value, increment the j value. If it's the dollar, at that time what you have to do is print as success, because if dollar are same at the both the sides, and that's the only thing left, that's the success. Okay, so here we will do I minus 1 is j plus plus. If it's the same character, then we'll check if it's the dollar. If it's dollar, print success and break. If it's not dollar and we have ended the array, it's an error. Okay, because at the end, if you don't get the same character and the string has ended, that means it's an error. And we'll display what is the current content, and that will happen only when it's not success. Okay, means this condition is not true, and this condition also not true, because it's neither an error nor success, means it's a simple character which has matched. So we'll ignore these characters. I minus minus I will be here and j will be here. So what will be the output is this output for the stack, and this output for the input value. Okay, this is the stack value, this is the input value. After that, we'll come to two switch cases. Here what you have to do is a0 b row 1, and a0 b1 and $2. So you're just defining the production, which row and which column you have to do to select that particular value. Like for example, a to small a, what is the thing defined? So if it is a, I'll take row as 0. If it is small a, I'll take column as 0. So 0 zero's value will be fetched, this value will be taken, the production value from the parsing table. This is the parsing table. Okay, this value will be taken into consideration, row and column value. So after that I'll check what is the row and column value I have. If it is 0 slash 0, means that production is not defined. A and a, if it was empty, means that production is not defined, it's an error. If it's defined but it's an epsilon value, that means I have to just ignore a. How to ignore a? A is defined where? This is the $a and this is the input values, right? A, b, a and all. So in $a I have to ignore this one, means in the stack I have to ignore. So what I will do for the stack, it's I minus minus. In the stack value where I have defined here, $a will be stored here, and I will be pointing here. I will just point here. Then again I'll call the display function. So the display function will only display $. Okay, and that's for the case when it is epsilon. If it's not epsilon, what I have to do is, it has some substitution, means a goes to a, it is not empty, it is not epsilon, that means it has some substitution, which in our case it is a b a. So this will be substituted from the reverse order. It will start from this part, means the size, it will start from the size is 3, so it will start from 3 minus 1, which is 2. So it will go till 0. From 2 to 0 means this location, this location, this location. That means if it is ABA, it will take this one and this one, and it will put in the which value, stack of I. So stack of I, initially it was $a, so the substitution was there. So in the place of this it will become A, then in the next place it will be B, next place it will be A. So this is the first substitution that has happened. I plus plus will happen, so I will become till 4. After this it gets over. I minus means because it has means come out of the range because of this breaking the means this condition. So after that it will become I minus minus will point to the last element of the stack. Will display again, it will display A B A. Okay, and the J value will also be displayed, which is the input value A B B A dollar. So this will also be displayed. And again the same thing follows. Again it will go back to the while loop. It will check the last elements, it is same or not. Means this element and this element it's same, at that time it will just ignore I minus minus. So again it will check this element is same or not. It means the different cases will follow. So I've covered all the cases in this video. So all you have to keep in mind is you have to write first 2 header files, 5 arrays you have to define, and then 2 functions. In the first function, it will run from 0 to I, the stack value will be printed, and the second will run from j to n. What will be printed? S value, which is the input value. Then we have here the grammar will be output, parsing table will be output, and a and b values are defined here. Like it will just output a and b, and the table values has the value which is to be outputted. That will be output here. And after that we'll be taking the input string, concatenating dollar with it, finding out its length, initializing stack value with dollar and a, and it will start the iteration here. Stack input. Then in the while loop, what we have, if we have, and 2 times switch condition. After that, if, else if, and else. So if we are checking if it's equal or not, if it's equal we are checking if it's dollar or not. Both dollar means success, both dollar different means error. And if it's just the same and it's not neither dollar nor an error, that time we'll just play the current output. And then we'll come to switch to define the row and the column for the production. 3 cases can follow. If it is empty, the production cell is empty, means this cell for a and a, this cell is empty means it's an error. If it's an epsilon, that means just ignore this value, means whatever non-terminal you are at, ignore that value, means put epsilon, that means it will vanish away and it will come back to the previous location. So I minus minus, then display the current output. And else if it's not the case, like it's epsilon, that means some substitution is there, like aa, and some substitution value is there, like in our case aba. Use this value and substitute in the reverse order from this one to the stack content. In the stack content it will be $a, in the place of dollar it will become a here, then in the place of this it will be b, here a. So this will be cut and this will be the output. Okay, so that will repeat until you get $. If you get $, it's success, else it's error. Okay, so that's all what is there in this code, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.